Hi everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the CertiK Security Leaderboard Showcase. I'm your host, Aaron Leibowitz. As you all know well, in this showcase, I host a guest for a live AMA where we discuss their work with CertiK, the Security Leaderboard, and we throw in live questions from you, the viewers. Our goal is to raise the standards of security in the DeFi ecosystem. The Security Leaderboard found at CertiK.com is a free tool to help you DYOR. Today I will be joined by two teams. First off is the Charli team. Joining us today alongside them will also be IOHK. Today's guests are contributing $1,000 worth of the C3 token for top live questions. Make sure to read the rules on the Twitter post at CertiK.org in order to qualify for rewards. Thank you very much to today's guests. Let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard listing. This is CertiK.com, the newly rebranded website. It's quite pretty. You guys should all go check it out. Scrolling down, you'll see lots of top projects that you recognize, their audit reports, their market data. Let's go to the Charli page now. On the landing page, you'll see key stats and market cap up top. And let's click into the audit report itself. When you click into the audit report, there's a wealth of information here on the projects that we work with. Table of contents will give you an overview, the summary talking about the project in general and what we covered. The project summary, the audit summary, and the vulnerability summary are things you should really pay attention to. And continuing down, we see the audit scope, which includes all the contracts involved. Finally, we get down to the individual issues and the alleviations by the team. As you can see, there were no critical, major, or medium issues here. So let's go ahead and bring on today's guests. Damon, Jonas, and Simon, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excited to dive in here with you guys. Why don't we start with you guys doing a quick introduction on yourselves, your projects, and go from there?
Sure. I'll go first here. My name is Damon. I'm CMO of Charli3 Oracles. I deal with anything that's dealing with the community or outreach to different projects, and talking to our other folks here like the IOHK, Simon, who's joined us today. And just collaborating with the rest of the team to make sure that we get out to the public as best as possible, and all our updates are readily available for everybody to see.
Awesome.
All right. I'll go next then. My name is Jonas. I'm the CTO of Charli. I'm responsible for the tech, past, present, and future. And it's a responsibility that weighs heavy on my shoulders, but at the same time, I think it's pretty exciting. There's a lot of cool new things we can do with Cardano, and I'm super excited to be here at the start of things.
And finally, Simon.
Hi, I'm Simon. I'm tech lead for the DApp platform, as we call it at IOHK. So that's looking at all the bits of technology that feed into the supporting dApps, languages like Plutus and Marlow, but also infrastructure like the DApp store, certification, and so on. And I think we'll be talking about some of those things later on.
Very important man, Simon is.
Indeed. So, guys, thank you for those intros. To summarize, sort of, IOHK is a decentralized research and engineering team, and if I understand correctly, actually builds Cardano. Is that correct?
Yep.
Excellent. And sorry, Charli3 is a decentralized oracle to feed real-world data on-chain for the Cardano ecosystem.
Absolutely correct. We'll service as many projects that need data for the ecosystem to function.
Got it. And Damon, can you give us a little overview on the relationship between IOHK and Charli3?
Absolutely. Of course, I mean, the idea of Cardano and the IOHK is decentralization. So there isn't any official endorsement in any manner, but we like to work as closely as possible between different projects, and especially with the IOHK, because as you just mentioned, they invented and built Cardano. So we want to make sure that it's really nice that what we're able to do here right now and in the last few months is collaborate with the IOHK to have this audit process done, and potential future endeavors such as Hydra, and continue to work better together to build the ecosystem as best as possible through the official means. There's not a lot of Haskell natively built projects, so I think the IOHK is very focused on the people that are building native for the chain, and we're one of those projects.
Got it. And Simon, if I understand correctly, Haskell, OCaml, and Erlanger quite your wheelhouse. You've been developing.
Sure. Yeah. I've been doing
while.
functional programming for far too long. Yes. Carry on. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was curious. That's sort of your specialty right there, is those languages and building tool sets for them.
That's right. Yeah. That's what I've been doing for a long time. Building tools to refactor functional languages. That's something I've been doing and still doing with colleagues at a university in Budapest. So really enjoying doing that. But what I've been doing for IOHK is helping them with languages. So I started the Marlowe project, and Marlowe's built. It's a special purpose language for traditional financial contracts, but put onto blockchain. So that's what we started doing, and now I've got this wider responsibility for DApp support in general. And we're very excited. I think we're at the stage where, we've been building, the technology is being built over the last few years, and where we're at now is that we're putting it out and we're actually having people running smart contracts, running dApps on Cardano. And I think someone said 2022 will be the year of smart contracts on Cardano. So I think what we'll be looking for is reliability, how we can work to scale things up. Because obviously working on Cardano, it's a slightly different blockchain to Ethereum. It's not account based, it's UTXO based, and that brings, I think, quite a lot more stability in terms of the model underlying the blockchain. But it also brings challenges in how you build and scale applications there, and I think we'll see that evolving. So we're looking at scalability and things like Hydra, as was mentioned. Yep. So I think that's what we'll be looking at through 2022.
Got it. Very interesting and good to know. So speaking about the wider Cardano ecosystem, how has adoption been looking? Are there short-term features or launches that you guys are looking forward to?
I think what we're looking forward to is working with with this burgeoning dApp community. We're seeing tens, if not growing into hundreds now, of people who are developing dApps. And what we want to do is work with that community to make sure that their experience of building dApps is as enjoyable and fruitful as we can make it. And what I think we can do that partly by tools that we support, but I think also we can do it by helping to sustain that ecosystem. And this is why we're interested in first of all, in building a dApp store where people will be able to see the variety of dApps that there are on Cardano. And then secondly, on that dApp store to build in assurance as part of the offering we're giving. And by that I mean somebody coming to Cardano being able to get a degree of assurance about how their apps will behave and not misbehave, that perhaps it's not possible to do on other chains. And so we've got a variety of ways of doing that. One is by providing automated testing facilities, and we'll be rolling those out through the prototype through the first quarter next year. And secondly, trying to work with the audit community in general, so CertiK and others who are moving into this space, to establish standards, best practice standards for what audit means. Now, of course, we understand that different auditors will have a different approach, and will take a different angle and potentially use different proprietary tools. But hopefully what we can do is build a common consensus about what best practice is in that area, and hopefully build, we can support tool building, but also we hope that the wider community will find ways of sharing those tools for the benefit of everybody, both other auditors, but in the end, for the benefit of the developers and end users who are using Cardano as their platform.
Yeah, so that's something that we've definitely taken to heart at CertiK. In terms of our security leaderboard, it is free for everyone to use. It's very important to us to share that security data and make it available for anyone who wants to do their own research. So can you guys talk a little bit about why Charli3 is the pilot project for the CertiK auditing of Cardano projects?
I mean, as far as we're aware, I mean, we were contacted. I have no idea in what manner, like a timeline wise, as far as other projects were contacted as well goes. But we were excited to get into this system, working with the IOHK in any manner that we could. And having this official pilot, or at least a pilot in general from the IOHK to oversee and roll towards what Simon was just talking about, of this the security, and whatever those parameters are around that, to start that off in whatever manner it could be considered. Now, with the pilots, I think we just really needed people that were more Haskell based, right? So I know CertiK has good background in that for sure. And we needed to have our code dealt with that way. So I think IOHK, and Simon, you can correct me here if this is wrong, but like I said before, just trying to really focus on the native Haskell built projects to serve the ecosystem as best as possible. And as well, oracles are a very needed function for any blockchain to have. So
Absolutely.
I think that's why
I think this what we were looking for was a project that was mature, and that was one where we felt that we could get the best experience for ourselves by supporting this, of what certification would look like for Cardano, because CertiK, we know, have been certifying dApps for other blockchains, but just wanting to see how it was similar, how it was different to certification exercises on other blockchains was something that we wanted to do early. And I think it was also just a matter of us putting a stamp in the ground and saying, this is what we see as best practice. We'd like to see everyone doing this. It's not the Wild West. So I think that's
setting those sort of standards for security and certification are very important, especially early on the building of an ecosystem, to give a framework to all the other projects that are coming and looking to build in the future. And starting with an Oracle project makes a lot of sense. We've seen it be a successful way to go for other chains in the past. I've even had a few Oracle guests on here before. It's a part of the space that is near and dear to me specifically, because I actually built an Oracle marketplace in 2017 for Dun & Bradstreet. So yeah, definitely a space that I care a lot about.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's discuss a little bit the major differences between Charli3 and other Oracle projects. There are quite a few on different chains, from Kyla Network on Polkadot to Supra, Nami, and Chainlink on the ETH network. What can you tell us that really sets you apart from these guys?
Well, I think that one big thing that will set us apart is obviously the uniqueness of working on Cardano, working with Plutus, with the extended UTXO system, as Simon mentioned. That's certainly a big thing. It requires a completely different approach. We have to, design our Oracle services from the ground up, using and utilizing the system to the best of its ability, making sure we really take advantage of the good features about it, and working around the things that are quite different from Ethereum, for example. So I think that's something that's the biggest difference, probably. I think that other than that, I think probably our principles and kind of our ethos is probably much the same as many other oracles. The kind of the nature of an Oracle service is to be there to help the community, to uplift it, and provide kind of this crucial infrastructure service that so many DeFi projects need and really required to function properly. So I would say that the technology is different. Yep. But I don't want to discredit the other projects by saying that the ethos and the principles of our projects are different. I think that they are much the same as us. Community first, and make sure we provide the service that the community needs, and that's the first principle.
Absolutely.
One thing I'd like to add on that is just, we're kind of a newer Oracle within the space, because Cardano is still building and we're still building, and obviously the nature of crypto is still building. So there's different things that are huge in the space now that never existed before, such as NFTs and different sales, and understanding that area. So, we're definitely looking into expanding Oracle services to the ever evolving space of DeFi and Cardano. And cryptocurrency in as a whole. So I think maybe that's where we can differ along the lines in the future, just because we are building during this huge evolutionary stage of crypto.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Being a first mover definitely has its advantages, but you are playing catch up at that point. Whereas when you're building in the midst of, deeper into the Web3 revolution, we can see you have a little more foresight on what's coming and are able to build alongside that. That
sure.
makes a lot of sense to me. So we have a good live question here. In September at the Cardano Summit, it was announced that Chainlink would be working with Cardano as well. Is that going to be complementary to you guys? I'm personally a believer in having multiple Oracle solutions. I think that's best for everyone. But what's your guys' take on that?
Yeah, I think you basically took the answer right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I because this is Oracle's. We're not about just building for ourselves and putting ourselves first and foremost. I mean, it's all about the community. And even though Chainlink obviously is a big competitor, and they're one of the biggest, so they're kind of scary in that sense. Still, I do think that they should be welcomed. Because the more Oracle services that are available to the community, the better the Oracle services are going to have to be, because competition will just sharpen everyone. And I do think that we can deliver a competitive product. So it's not like I'm super scared about them, but obviously they're big dog. They're a big dog in the Oracle game, so we have to respect them.
Yeah, I'm as I said, definitely a believer in a multi-Oracle solution. I don't want to even rely on one decentralized Oracle.
Absolutely.
Having multiple feeding me makes a lot of sense to me, and I hope that's what we're going to see projects in the future going with.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Simon's take on that a little bit, if there's anything else. I mean, because you're the ones more directly working with the Chainlink thing, so I mean, we're not sure about what's happening there, but what the Cardano side of things thoughts are on it.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I know anything more than you, but I think. I would think that a healthy ecosystem with lots of different providers. I mean, not only does it give us more resilience. I mean, there can be differences in what different oracles provide, and it's great for users to have that choice between different providers. So I think, I think the more the merrier, really. I mean, this is how I think everybody gains higher on a rising tide is a good motto for this area, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So guys, there's another live question here about the Clean Water Coalition. Is that something you're involved with?
Right. Yeah. So I started that. It's hopefully we'll be talking to IOHK soon about it. I know they've been interested, but obviously IOHK is very busy. So we have created a coalition of Cardano projects that is being added to. Most recently just added Paribus. So there's 6 projects involved and a stake pool, so 7 total, where we are staking and giving all of the rewards, 100% of the rewards matched by the pool as well, to a charity called Drop for Drop, which is helping build wells for providing clean water to people in need in Africa and India at the moment, just kind of wherever they're needed. And as entry to the project, we are collecting at least enough for a full well, so $3,500 a piece per project. So every project that joins means one more well for a community that needs it. And we really pulled this together to fit the ethos of Cardano and this humanitarian effort and bringing crypto into the real world and showing that it is real, it can help, and help communities in different ways. We're not just here to make money for ourselves. It's about serving the world in a larger function. And even our next NFT sales we have coming up just for fun, almost all of the money is going straight to Drop for Drop. And we hope more and more people join in and from the communities as well to donate straight to the charities, and nothing's passing through the projects. It's all going straight towards building a better future for many communities that are less fortunate than our own.
That's fantastic. I love to hear that type of altruism in the foundation of a project. Really makes it easy to support and want to follow along with the project moving forward. So guys, moving on to security. Starting with the wider Cardano ecosystem, the team at IOHK has quite a few security protocols in place when deploying new contracts, it seems. Even on Charles's recent live stream, he mentioned property-based testing, as well as the CertiK security solutions. Why has that been such a core element of building to you guys?
I mean, I think it starts a lot earlier than that. I think it starts, right down in the design of the Cardano blockchain. So going for EUTXO, it's a much clearer solution. It's a much clearer model to work with if you want to understand and verify what's going on the chain. Then seeing this as a data flow model is much more straightforward to verify than the account-based model. And also because every action is local, all state is local, you don't have the problems of people contending over changing global state, for example. So that model is really that's a very straightforward, mathematically very clean model. On top of that, we then have Plutus, which is a functional language. It's effectively Haskell, which again has a mathematical foundation. And so I think, right from the basis, we've been trying to build a system which provides assurance through its very architecture. And then in building Marlowe, where we designed, what we were doing with Marlowe was designing a special purpose language. And what we could do there is by restricting what the language could do, we could build in security properties like the fact that no Marlowe contract will ever hold on to any money forever. When the contract terminates, all the money in the contract is returned to the participants. And we know, and we can also predict no contract will run forever. So we can build languages which have built-in security. Now, okay, if you're writing general contracts in Plutus, we can give fewer guarantees in general, but we do have sorts of solutions like property-based testing, where you don't just produce a single test, but rather you describe a property that you think your contract has, and then you fire thousands of random data at it to see whether that property indeed holds. So it's an automated, lightweight way of doing verification. And the final step in this is to do real machine-assisted proof, where you act like a mathematician. You prove that your contract has the properties you want. Now that's harder work, but you get complete assurance from that. So I think this theme of assurance comes right down from the basis of the blockchain, right through the languages and through to the contract. So I think it's not just something we've tacked on, but it's been something that we've always, it has always been an important part of IOHK. And I think on a personal note, I started off working as a professor in a university and had research funding from IOHK. And I think one reason I was very happy to take that was because I knew any research I produced I could publish. So we have a policy of publishing our research, and also that things we produced would be open source. So I think that, again, that transparency of what's in the blockchain, I think is an important part of increasing assurance. There are socially, people can feel more assurance if they can read the code rather than just getting a binary they can't understand. So I think that's been a theme right through what IOHK has done.
Absolutely, and that makes quite a bit of sense. So talking about building a strong community, you mentioned before it's obviously core to any successful project. What have you guys been doing on that front, whether it's marketing, ambassador programs, international, non-English language communities, anything like that?
Yeah, so we do have a Discord channel that has a couple of mods in there that speak a few different languages, just to cater to the specific types of people that maybe don't speak English well. So I've made sure to have as much of a global reach as possible. And if we continue to grow, we'll definitely hire more people that have multi-language specifications. I know that there's been YouTubers and other people on the marketing side that have picked up our videos in our project and thrown them out to Spanish and Russian and Turkish communities. So it's really nice to see that the reach is out there, and Cardano and our project, Charli3 here, is reaching a larger audience. As far as marketing and growing the community, I do we have a lot of partnerships, so that helps us a lot, right? With integrating with a lot of the other projects on the chain, especially that are building for Cardano, and continually updating that list with new people. So that helps a lot to get to wider communities, as well as doing a lot of Twitter spaces right now every couple of days, just to really make sure that everybody has a chance to hear directly from the top. Because I think having that transparency from the innovators directly is a huge deal as far as building trust. Just as Simon says, as much as it is about the code on the chain, transparency, it is also about what you're doing to build that project and that trust on the chain as well.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm going to put you into a little bit of a rapid fire round. We're going to try and get 1 or 2 sentence answers for a bunch of live questions here. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Okay.
All right. Speaking about partnerships, do you hope to make more partnerships with synthetic asset protocols in the future? I know you have a partnership with Indigo at the moment.
Yes, big time. That's a big chunk of data grabbing. Good partners.
Excellent. Will Charli3 expand to multi-chain ecosystem in the future, or is it going to stay Cardano specific?
After we solidify our Cardano code and workings, then yes, we will definitely be migrating to other chains.
Excellent. Why the name Charli3? Sounds a little
play
bit
on Charles's name for sure. And then we also have 3 founders, so that and it's techie to do the leet speak thing. So it's just fun.
Fair enough. I wasn't sure if there was a C3PO reference there.
No, we didn't want any copyright issues.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see, guys. Keep shooting out your questions here. I want to. So for non-English language communities, again, you have Discord that is sort of multilingual in one place. Do you plan to split those off into country-specific or language-specific channels in the future?
Sure. There's just not enough people right now. I mean, each one of those separate languages ones usually only has a couple of people in them, and most of them speak English also. So, but if the communities grow big enough, of course, we'll have separate ones and completely separate mods to manage those all the time.
Makes sense. Do you have plans to attract non-crypto users, currently non-crypto native people today?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were just in a Miami conference to deal with a lot of education to early adopters and non-crypto folks, as well as that drop for drop campaign that we have going out to the regular people is a big way to try and warner adoption from people that don't know about it in a friendly and considerate way, I guess.
Got it. All right. Moving back to security a little bit. In terms of smart contract auditing, what were you guys looking for in an auditor, and what led you to CertiK?
Well, yeah. I think that CertiK, what attracted us to CertiK was obviously a lot of experience and familiarity with Cardano, which is difficult to kind of find nowadays. There's not a lot of auditors just available that really are ready to fully handle a Cardano project. But CertiK is one of those. I'm sure that in a year it will be different and many, many more auditors will be available right now. But right now, CertiK was kind of the first and foremost one. And I'm not sure if I should say this, but obviously they also came highly recommended in conversations with IOHK. They were mentioned multiple times. So they definitely came, there was really no competition when it came to who we felt we could trust the most. And trust is essential.
Excellent.
I mean, this is no criticism of CertiK. I think there will be competition in 12 months' time.
Of course.
Absolutely.
There's a whole lot of people moving into the space who I think will be doing interesting things. Yeah.
Similar to you guys, we are not scared of competition. We do believe that improved competition will lead to better security standards for all. So we look forward to seeing that.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
When rolling out new features and deploying to mainnet going forward, how are you guys planning to maintain strict security standards?
Oh, well, that's security is first and foremost. I completely agree with Simon. Like, security is essential. We have to keep security in mind continuously throughout development. We have to make sure that everything we do is properly tested at every step of development. And we're probably going to have to, or I can say that we certainly do have to have a continuous kind of process of auditing our code. To make sure that not only are we satisfied with the code, but it's put to third parties that can also inspect the code and kind of assure the community that it's not just us. It's actually properly tested and properly written code. And in a further future as well, of course, we want to make sure that we go fully open source so that the community itself can also inspect our source code and see that everything is as it should be, and there's nothing strange or malicious in there.
Excellent. All right, guys, we are coming to the end here, so I'm going to ask 1.5 more questions. Your roadmap sort of goes through the beginning of 2022. what can we look forward to a little bit beyond that roadmap? Is there anything that you can speak to that's not up there yet?
Yeah, so I mean, one thing we already kind of spoke to, you just asked before, is are we going to move to different chains? I mean, absolutely. Another thing that I kind of alluded to is there's NFT things happening. I don't even know if it's on our roadmap right now, actually. We built that a long time ago. But NFT standards and different evolutions coming in the space, and we plan to definitely do something with oracleizing NFT data, pricing, and what have you. So those are things that I'm not sure are fully listed out there, but you can look forward to hearing more about it in the future.
Excellent. And to tack on to the end of that, where can the community, everyone watching today, sort of follow along with you guys? Where should they look to see updates? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, Twitter's the biggest thing. Like I say, I do the Twitter Spaces every couple days. Directly, we do Monday ones starting now with all 3 founders, where we can answer all questions, just kind of quick like this.
Yep.
To the community, as well as our Telegram channels in the Discord, like I said. And then as far as where to find us on blockchain spaces, we're just on Uniswap right now, but as soon as Cardano launches, we'll be on a host of new dexes. So we're excited for whenever that happens.
Excellent.
And,
well, thank you guys so much for joining today. It's been a
Thank you so
great
much.
conversation, really engaging.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Cheers, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.